So we're back. Now we got the 2014 Nero, and one of the first things that I've noticed is the color's a little different. It's a little more, it's brighter than the 2013.
I think there's a little more filtration to it too. You saw a slight bit of cloudiness in the 13, and this one you can see is that ruby kind of see-through again. But Stephen, you might be able to attest more to the color and the different vintages.
Well, I think that one thing is that it's just 1 year younger wine. And these things do start out with a very bright purple hue to them. And as most red wines do, of course, they will age and they'll move a little more, I started to say darker, not necessarily darker, but away from that bright purpley into red and into more of a brick and eventually into more of a tawny aspect. And I think part of it is just seeing that age difference. Also, as we'll go through these later, you'll see the different depths of color, and that has a lot to do based on the vintage itself. We have experience with this wine, some rainy years and some dry years, and a great variation in that, some hurricane years. But also, it's a lot to do, again, going back to the tannin and color pigment ratios and availability in the right fruit. And when that ratio matches up pretty well and we're able to treat the wine gently enough and nicely enough in the cellar at harvest time to help that stabilization of both components occur, I think that helps to hold a more reddish, bright tint to the wine for a longer period of time. So we're working really hard to make sure that kind of thing happens as well, starting in the vineyard and then at the harvest time in the cellar.
All right, let's give it a drink.
So the vines are a year older and the wine's a year younger, basically. Now on the nose, I get more of a buttery as compared to the 13.
Yeah.
Still have the spice, but it's a little more.
Yeah.
It's distinctly different.
Still has that spice, the black pepper. I always get, and it's kind of weird, I always get a little bit of like this cured prosciutto-y kind of like charcuterie smell.
I wondered if you might say that because I kind of do too.
It reminds me, it always reminds me of like a butcher shop in Italy you walk into and they're curing the meat, and
totally agree.
Some of it's got that black pepper crust to it, and so that kind of comes out in this, and it makes it a great charcuterie wine too. But it always reminds me of that, and it comes out more and more pronounced in different vintages, and this one's more pronounced in the first year, I think.
I think that spicy note that you're talking about and all does pretty much transcend vintages. That's one of the main characteristics of this wine. I think that spiciness that we get, black pepper, is nice and is a real character of it. There's some wines, and this one makes me think, whether it sounds weird or not, is a little bit slaty, or sometimes I think of being out sitting in a mountain creek and the water coming over the rocks, and it's just something about that flavor, or not that I'm sitting out there
licking
water
There's
something in the air about that, and I know that sounds crazy, but a slate or a wet rock,
Like
mineral
mineral
yes.
may be the word.
Absolutely.
But,
Well, we certainly have enough rocks around here.